What are you doing here? What's going on here? Oh, the boo from Watley. No, you're not supposed to be on the table. Mrs. finds out she'll go mental. Get down. Come on, down. Sorry about that. Start again. Hello all and welcome to Wayne's Allotment. So what have I got for you in this one? As the cat goes across my lap. Make yourself at home. He's coming back now. Hey, don't you just love them? Right, where was I? Yes, today is... oh, whiskey, move it, thank you. Today is the 9th of March, and believe it or not, I've actually been round on the plot and got some digging done. Hey, absolutely amazed, shocked, stunned, unbelievable. Yes, I went round on Friday afternoon. I managed to dig over the area where I'd had my French beans. And I went round on the Saturday and was able to dig over a few more areas as well. So that's helped tidy the plot up. And I'll give you a plot tour anyway. I've got some tomatoes that are ready to pot on, and one or two other flowers that need potting on, so we get them done. And as is always the case with me, there's various other little things that I'll show you. Thank you all very much for watching. It really is appreciated, never mind anything else. So without further ado, let's crack on and I'll show you what's been going on. Thanks a lot. Right, a little bit of seed sowing. I'll show you what I'm doing. I saw these the other day and I've never tried them before. Some spring onions. Totem says that they don't bulb. Very uniform. I generally do things like Ishikura, White Lisbon, Performer, Ramrod is another one that I do. And I've got, here's some White Lisbon that I've done a few weeks back in these multi-cell trays. I've got another tray of these that's ready to go into the greenhouse, and to try and get a continuation I'm going to do another one, so I'll swing you around and show you what I'm doing. Right, I'm doing these in these cell trays and doing them like this in little clumps because I picked them as bunches, so I'd rather grow them as bunches. I know things like these Totem and White Lisbon and all those sort of spring onions are supposedly you should grow them in a row, but oh, there's plenty here. But as I pick them in bunches, I'd prefer to grow them in bunches. And all as I'm doing is dropping 6 or 7 seeds In fact, I might be able to do a couple of seed trays here. This could be good. Yeah, I'm just dropping 6 or 7 seeds into each cell, and then we'll cover those in a little bit of vermiculite. In fact, I'll put those few back in there. It's always fiddly getting the seeds back in, isn't it? It never seems to be a smooth operation. There we go. So we'll just cover that with a little bit of vermiculite, give it a watering, and that will then go in the house, in the propagator, to get them started, and then they'll come out into the greenhouse. Once they've got to about that sort of size, they'll come out into the greenhouse, and they'll be left to grow on from there. Well, just had a knock on the door. Post has just been. Delivery from Marshall's, and it's my onion sets. As you can see, I've had 2 bags. It's an average of 75 onions per bag. The variety is Fen Globe. I grew them for the first time last year. They're a heat treated, by the way, and I grew them for the first time last year, and they're absolutely superb. My opening credits show you what these actually, how good these grow, or what size they can grow into. These will be, I've had a quick fumble, shall we say, and they all seem quite firm. None of them look soft or damaged, diseased or anything. They will go into a multi-cell seed trays, the 4, you know, the standard size seed tray with like 40 cells. They'll go into them, and I will get them into my heated propagator, so that try and at least get them to form some root structure, and once they start to show a little bit of growth, they'll go out into the greenhouse until they're ready to be put out on the plot. So that's my onions, me Fen Globe onions for this year. Okay, so as I said, I've got some tomatoes that I need to pot on, basically because they've gone a little leggy. I've got these here. They are the red currant. I think it's the red currant. Let's have a look. I've got my book here. Yeah, these are the red currant variety. Now these grow as little tomatoes the size of currants, and I've got a red currant one there, then I've got a yellow currant. I've never grown these before, but as I say, looking at the size of those, you know, they're looking a little leggy. I'll go through the rest of these. I've got 30, number 30. That's a variety called Ship Saint. I'm not holding these very well. That's a variety called Ship Saint, and again, looking a little leggy. 31, Crimson Crush. I'm not going to argue with anybody about whether they're leggy or not. Just look at those. There's some more there. They've gone leggy. Moneymaker, number 32. Where are we? They're about the only ones that don't look too bad at all. They're not a bad size. And then I've got number 33, which is a variety I'm calling Bacardi. Basically, these are a tomato that I grew last year, the winter before. Bought some tomatoes from a supermarket. They were quite a good size. I decided to save seed and grew them that year, and last year, and they were always called supermarket tomatoes as far as I was concerned. And then last year we lost Bacardi, our eldest dog. She died, so in honour of that lovely Motley, I'm calling these Bacardi. Now, a problem that I've had, obviously because of, with regards how leggy they've gone, is what to pot them in. Now, one of the things I came across was to get 2 pots. I did think about cutting the bottom of one pot off and putting it onto the other pot, and you've got that much deeper pot. I can't use toilet rolls because I've got none collected. I did think of using something like pots, something like that, and putting several plants in. Then I thought splitting them up once they need to go out is going to be, I'm not going to say a nightmare, but it's going to be awkward. And I was racking my brains as to what to use, what to go with, and so on. And then I watched Nigel, Muddy Boots, and once again the man come to the rescue. I'll show you what. Root trainers. He's used these for some tomatoes of his, and I thought to myself, what a fantastic idea. I also thought, what common sense that is. You know, something like that, quite deep. That's what, 4 or 5 inches deep. That's going to be perfect for putting these tomatoes into. So I'll tell you what, Nigel, you're clever chap. I'd have never thought about it, but yes, I'm not going to take the credit for this. I am going to credit Nigel with it. So I'm not going to bore you with all the potting on and planting up and so on. These will get, I'm going to just stick some numbers onto the fronts of these so that each row corresponds with each tomato. Once I've got them all potted up, I'll bring you back and I'll show you what I've got done. I've just started potting these on, and I just thought I'll show you the root on those. Really quite nice. I was expecting it to be a bit more bulky, to be perfectly honest. I'm putting these in quite a depth. I know I wasn't going to show you me potting these on, but I'm putting these in at quite a depth. I will top the compost up. It's peat free, and as I go along I will top this up to bring these up to a decent level. I've got absolutely way more than I need. I've really don't need all these. I'll make inquiries with fellow plot holders to see if anybody wants some of these. If not, then I'm going to end up throwing them away, which is going to be a right shame really. But I will carry on potting these up, and I'll bring you back when I've finished. Okay, so all my tomatoes are now potted up. I'll spin you around and show you what I've done. There we go, all potted up into the root trainers, and as can be seen, all numbered so that I know what I've got there. Starting from this end, that's Bacardi. Those are Moneymaker. The 3 lots of 31 are Crimson Crush. Ship Saint is number 30. 29 and 28 are red and yellow currant tomatoes. So yeah, that's all my tomatoes potted up now. These are in peat-free compost. It's the wool peat-free compost. I will just sprinkle a little bit round the tops just to top them up, because you can see that there's 1 or 2 that are a little low now, and then they will go in the house and go back under the grow lights. Well, I said I'd give you a plot tour, so plot tour you're going to have. It's Thursday the 19th of March. Due to this coronavirus, I'm off work because my wife was supposed to go into hospital yesterday to have an operation on her shoulder. That was cancelled. She had a phone call Tuesday night to say that it had been cancelled because of coronavirus. I'd already booked today off work anyway to be nursemaid, ready for when she come out of hospital, and I've got to take the holiday, because our holidays go from April to March, and if I don't take it I'm going to lose it. So I've been a bit productive round on the plot, so I'll show you what I've been doing. Right, first job I've done is trimmed all that bank all the way along, right the way down to the very end of that plot there. They say the camera never lies. It doesn't look long, I will admit, it doesn't look particularly long, but that's about 80 foot easy. I'd say that's about a 70 or 80 foot length, and I've used this, my Toro. It's battery powered, 40 volt. Let's have a look what the, see if we can look at what the, that's not bad. Oh, 3 lights, so there's plenty of power still left in that. And round onto the plot itself, starting here now with the garlic. This went in, where's the label? Let's have a look. Can't read it. We're doing well. This went in, and for about maybe 4 weeks I honestly thought it was duff, nothing happened, and then it started to come through, and about 6 weeks ago I gave it a top dressing of pelletized chicken muck, and it's not looked back. In amongst down here, so on, these little clumps, they are some tulips. They are Tulip sylvestris, a very old variety of tulip that all current cultivar tulips originate from. So next job, strawberries. These are coming out of here. It looks a bit of a mess, but that's because they're coming out, full stop. More on that in another video, I'll say no more. These 2 beds here, nothing happening with those. This bed was totally sown with broad beans, and as you can see, it's a little hit and miss. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these outer strugs and finish the line down here with them. That bed is covered up. Show you these tulips. Look at these here, lovely. I don't know the variety, but they were from a pound shop, I think, somewhere end of last year, and they're looking lovely. Right, these beds that are joined here, as you can see, I've got these have just need working over, final going over. Up the top there, that has been made up with spent compost. It's had a bit of manure in the bottom, it's had some as I say, spent compost. It just now needs a little bit of topsoil, and then I'm going to work my way through digging out where these paths have been. These two beds here, I've recently raided that one for the last of the carrots. This has got nothing in it at all. As you can see, rhubarb doing very well, nice early variety. I don't know the name, but that's doing a lot better than I thought. There's some strugs of lettuce, an overwintering lettuce. Let's have a look, what is it? Winter Imperial, that's called. That's about all that's left. It didn't do very well at all. And then next to it I've got some spring onions. Now this is where everybody could turn around and call me a liar, because I always go on about my spring onions. I grow them in clumps, blah de blah, prefer it, you pick a bunch, so I like to do them in a clump. Well, there you go, call me a liar. These were put in, where are we? 20th. Let's have a look on another one, because they were all done together. 20th of the 11th. They've gone in. There's one or two that are worth picking actually now. Purple sprouting broccoli, I've just taken the sheeting or the netting off that. I've picked what I can of that, and that is all going to come out, and that bed will be worked over. I'm thinking of possibly raising it by about 4 or 5 boards to bring it up to sort of height about there, so that use it as a raised bed for carrots. Now then, rhubarb here. This is obviously, as you can see, is a later variety of rhubarb. It's all been mulched with spent compost from the potato buckets that were there, and I've used it as a mulch around these. So that is about all as I do with my rhubarb, and I never have any problem with it. All comes good. Right, on to what we've been doing today. About a week, 10 days ago, let me just stand over here, there was a patch here about 4 foot wide that needed digging over. It had got the last of the beetroot in, so that was dug over. And then the same sort of thing at the back there, that had got some swede in, so that was dug over. At the same time, I dug that strip there that had the beans in. Took the canes down, dug it all over. Today I've taken out what was left of the purple sprouting broccoli, dug it over, and I've gone over it with my cultivating hoe, gone over the entire plot, spread some pelletised chicken muck on it and just lightly worked that in. I've then dug, I've unnetted the leeks. I've left these in for a purpose. As you can see, I'll show you, but you can see it's starting to go to seed, and that's the reason why I left them in, because those at the back there are winter whites, which are supposed to be a good overwintering variety. These odd few at the bottom here now are Musselburgh. I have just picked some, taken some out from amongst the Musselburgh, and that's the, shall we say, they're the better specimens from the Musselburgh, so I've had them out. I've also had a cabbage, because along here there was the remnants of sprouts which have been dug out, and there was one January King cabbage still in, which I've now lifted. So this has all been dug over. That will be worked over with the cultivating hoe and some pelletised chicken muck put on it. This here that's all sheeted over, this and where these few leaks are, this is all going to be the potato bed next year. The onions are going towards the back there, and I shall do the same with the onions as I did last year. They'll be grown through weed suppressant membrane, and then the rest of this, as I say, I'm going to do potatoes here. I'm going to do beans again there, but we're doing something a little different. I'm going to do some peas next to them, and then the rest I'm looking at doing some tomatoes outside, so they'll probably go in here, along with some carrots and sprouts and cauliflower and so on. The raspberry canes have been cut back. They will just get a quick top dressing again of some spent compost, just to again, I do it every year, and it just tarts them up a bit, shall we say. And that's it really. That's everything all sorted. I'm not 100% certain what is going into what beds. I've got some peas, I've got some Hurst green shaft that I'm thinking of putting a row in along here, and maybe another row in along there. But that's a, you know, for an immediate thought. But apart from that, that is everything all sorted. Oh, one other little thing that I want to just show you while we're here. Tulips. And these are, again, this sheeting is coming down. I've decided it was a complete waste of time pouring it up, so it's all coming down. Tulips again. Tulip sylvestris, sorry. Chuffed to bits that they're coming through. Really am, because of the fact that they're an old heritage variety, and the fact that all current cultivar tulips originate from these. Just amazing. Hello, I'm back again. I just got interrupted as I was showing you those tulips, but that's it really. That's the plot tour done. It's just a case of going around and tidying things up now, getting things ready. Potatoes to go. I've got potatoes chitting to go into buckets. But I'll show you all everything as things go on. So we'll leave it at that with regards to plot tour for now. Right, I'm in the greenhouse, and I've got a bit of potting on with some flowers. These are cardoon. I've also got some calendula and some cornflowers that I want to pot on. I've just looked at them, and to be honest, they're a little dry, which is a little, I'm not quite sure why, because they've been under my grow lights, and my grow lights are on a they've got, how can I put it, it's an all-in-one system with capillary matting on the bottom. Now there's plenty of water in there, but these pots seem to be a little dry, as if there's not, I mean, the roots are just, can you, I don't know whether you can see, it's so I'm a bit concerned as to why they're not taking in the water. I mean, they're doing, you know, they're doing nicely, but still. Temperature in here is 34.8 C, which in Fahrenheit is 94.6. So it's, hence the t-shirt, it's very warm in here, shall we say. So I'm not going to show you potting all these on. I'll just do a couple of these cardoon, but I just thought I'll just show you me getting these potted up. So I'll spin you round and you can have a butcher's look at what I'm doing. Right, the pots have been filled with clover, multi-purpose compost. As I say, these are the cardoon, doing quite nicely. So we'll get and dig these out. Quite a nice root structure on that. I'll use my finger, I think, to make a hole for this rather than the dibber. Might be a bit easier. We'll have the dibber. These are going to be, once these are watered, these are going to go back under the grow lights until, basically till we're clear of all frosts, I think. I don't really, let's have a look what we've got here. We've got some bigger in here. Until we're about clear of all frosts, and then once these have started to look at that for a root ball. That is going to have, in fact we're going to have to take a bit of compost out of that, I think. These will get a good watering because they definitely need it. It's, as I say, it's a little disconcerting as to why they've not soaked up the water through the capillary matting. That is a little strange, but still, these things happen. Don't really know why. They're healthy looking plants. Another good root structure on that one. Give them a good watering once we're, I'm only going to do 4. I've got probably, there's a couple of places I'm thinking, look at that. Hey, that's one heck of a root structure on that. I've got a couple of places on the allotment that I'm thinking of putting these, but I'm also thinking of putting one in the garden as well. Right, there we have it. I don't think I shall pot any more on. I'll give them a good watering. There we go. So that is the cardoon. I won't show you with everything else. I know I've got other things to pot on, but I won't bother boring you with all that. When you've seen one lot done, they're all very much the same. So that's me cardoons all potted on. Well, that's it for this one. Thank you all very much for watching. It is very much appreciated. At the moment, with this coronavirus thing that's going around, I hope you're all managing to stay safe and clear from it. We're still a-okay with regards work-wise. My wife, she's going to be off work now because all the schools are closed. There's still work for her to do, but she's having a little bit of an enforced holiday, which she's not moaning about. It's a shame such a thing is going to happen, to end up giving somebody a holiday. I see that the RHS have cancelled quite a few shows for the year, which is understandable. And it's nice to see that the National Trust are going to open up stately homes and such like early on, so that people can go and have a walk round the gardens. That's very good, very commendable, that is. So be good, look after yourselves, look after each other, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot. Ta-ra a bit. Well, me and my big mouth, I've just said to you about National Trust places being open that you can go and walk around. I've just heard literally minutes ago that the National Trust are now closing for a temporary period, it says. So forget what I said there. But anyway, you all look after yourselves, look after each other, and we'll get through all this. So just keep getting them veg in and we'll be well away. So until next time, as I say, look after yourselves, look after each other, and I'll see you again. Ta-ra a bit.